Good afternoon everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Funko Pops. Now Funko Pops kind of popped out of the blue a few years ago and they're really popular sort of plastic figures with the black circular eyes and they started off, Disney characters, anime characters and that sort of thing, and then a couple of years ago Pokemon ones started appearing and as I'm quite a collector I thought, I wasn't too sure of them at the start, but kind of got used to them and kind of like them now. And so I now collect them. So today's video is to talk about sort of what Funko Pops are out there for Pokemon and what you can get. So to start with, there are 6 different types of Funko Pops you can get for Pokemon. The first one is this one, which is just your standard Funko Pops, and these are the ones that I collect. Just your standard Funkos. And then the next one you can get is this one, which you can't really tell on camera, but this one is flocked, so it's actually a little bit furry. So that's the flocked one. There is also the silver, which are usually sort of anniversary sort of memento sort of pops. So this one is the Pikachu 25th anniversary silver pop. Then there is the Diamond collection, which if you can just about tell, the Pikachu is glittery. So I have a couple of these. And then the last one that I have is this one, the Jumbo Pops, and they come in 2 sizes. So you've got this Jumbo Pop, and then there's also a much bigger one as well. But the Jumbo Pop's kind of this size. And then the final one that I don't have any of is a pop that is called the Metallic Pop, which is kind of a cross between sort of like the diamond and the silver. So it's kind of like this sort of metallic sort of colour whilst still retaining the colour of the Pokemon. So there's like a Charmander one, and it is still orange, but it's kind of like a silvery sort of orange. There's not many of those out yet. But as I say, I don't collect all of them. I think if you were to collect all of them, that's a big money sink, because especially things like the big pop here, they are a lot of money. And there's quite a few of them at this point. So for me personally, I just collect the standard pops and then just pick up a few here and there of ones that I actually like for different varieties. So that's what you can get out there. So I just want to show you what you can get in the standard pops that I've collected, because I have all of them up till now. So without further ado, I'm going to talk you through the timeline of the standard Pokemon pops that came out. So when they first started bringing out the Pokemon Pops, they brought them out individually to start with, and then as they went on, they kind of started bringing them out in sets. So the first one that they brought out was obviously a Pikachu one, and this one was a Target exclusive at the time, so you can see the Target sticker. I managed to get this one at Comic-Con. Pokemon Pops aren't really that popular over in the UK. You can get them in a few places like the Funko store, and you can get them in you can get them in games sometimes and that sort of thing, but they're not widely available. So I tend to import mine from America or get them from things like Comic-Con and stuff. So this is the first one that came out, which is $3.53, and it's Pikachu. And then the next one started coming out individually, but by the end of the sort of individual ones, they decided to put them in a set. So you can see at the back, when they're in a set, they say which set they belong to on the back. So these ones they're oddly numbered, but by the end of it they were in a set. So we start off with 453, which is Bulbasaur. So you can see they stick to Kanto right near the start, as you would expect them to do. And then we have 455 Charmander. And then, as you would guess, number 504, which is Squirtle. And then they release another Pikachu, but this one is different because it is waving. So that's number 553. And then the last one of that set, when they decided it was a set, is number 577, which is Eevee. So as you would expect, they do start off very Kanto-ified, but they do diversify as they go along. And as you notice, they aren't sequentially numbered. They are mixed in with all the other pops that they release. So you're never going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. It is in sequential. So I think for all the people that collect all of the pops, they'll have them sequentially, but the Pokemon ones, they're just numbered along. Okay, and the next set that they then released was a bumper set. And I think a lot of this was to tie into the start of Detective Pikachu being released. So there's a couple of Detective Pikachu related ones. So this is the next set that they released, which has 8 of them. Okay, and they start off with Pichu, number 579. And then we have Vulpix, which is number 580. And then Mewtwo, 581. You can see he's a little bit bigger than the rest. He also comes in a jumbo that is much, much bigger. And then finally 582 for the first half of that set. And then we have 595, which is a Rattata. We have 596, which is Cubone. 597, which is Growlithe. And finally, yet another Pikachu, but this one's a grumpy Pikachu, and that's 598. So that was the first set that had anything other than Gen 1 in it. It had a Pichu. And then for the next set, they go back to Kanto for a bit. But this was the set that really pulled me into getting the Pops, because it is the first proper evolution set. So the first one was number 626, which is another Eevee, but this one's standing up. And then we go into the first evolutions. So you've got 627, which is Vaporeon. 628, which is Jolteon. And 629, which is Flareon. So after that, the set started releasing much more frequently and regularly. And after that point and up to date, the subsequent releases have all been sets of 3. So each set that's released after these have had 3 in the set, with sometimes there being a diamond or a metallic or a silver one released alongside it, but not part of the set because they share the numbers with their standard pops. So like, for example, the silver Pikachu that I showed earlier, it's still 353. It's still the same one as its standard pop. It's just a silver one instead of a standard one. So all of those special edition ones, they don't get included in the set at the back. So from here on now, the set releases are all 3. So the next set is 643 to 645, which is this set here, which is Mew, Ponyta and Raichu. So this is Mew, 643. And then we have Ponyta, which is 644. And finally Raichu, which is 645. Then the next set that was released, again, contains a Pikachu. So this is the next set, which seems to be very Gen 1 anime themed. So we have 779, which is another grumpy Pikachu, but this time it is on all 4s. And then we have 780, which is Meowth, and 781, which is Psyduck. Got a soft spot for this one. Then the next set that was released, again, is quite Kanto themed. So we've got yet another Pikachu. The Pikachus do get quite popular, but in recent sets they have eased back on the Pikachu. But this one is very Kanto and very anime themed again. So we have a very happy sitting down Pikachu, which is 842. And then we have a very popular and hard to find one, 843 Charizard. As with all Charizard things, they get overpriced very quickly. And then the other one for this set is 844, which is Horsey. So I think this is all based around Misty's Horsey, Ash's Charizard and Ash's Pikachu from the anime. And then the last set from last year, again, is a Kanto themed set. And you can see here it is Caterpie, Pidgeotto and Dragonite. So we have 848, which is Caterpie. Didn't expect them to do a Caterpie pop, to be honest, but it was quite popular, it seems. 849, which is Pidgeotto, and number 850, which is Dragonite. Again, one that's a little bit difficult to find nowadays. So that brings us into the sets that have been released so far this year, and there have been 2 sets this year that have been released, and both of them contain evolutions, which I'm quite excited about. They're slowly getting through the evolutions, which is quite nice. They've skipped Gen 2 for Umbreon and Espeon so far, so hopefully they go back to those. But first set this year that was released was this set, and this is where they go completely different to Gen 1 and all that sort of thing, because this is Gen 1, Gen 4 and Gen 6. So it's Alakazam, Lucario and Sylveon for this set. So this is 855 Alakazam, and then we have 856 Lucario, and then finally 857, which is Sylveon. And I think they've done Sylveon very, very well. That's a very nice pop. And then the final set so far this year, again, has not very Gen 1 related. There's 2 from Gen 4 and 1 from Gen 1. And this set is Lapras, Piplup and Leafeon. So first one is 866, which is Leafeon. I'm doing these backwards. 865, Piplup. And 864, which is Lapras, and this one's a little bit bigger than normal. But yeah, so based on that, I do think that the next set that they release is probably going to have Glaceon in it, because they've done Sylveon and now they've done Leafeon, and we are still kind of in Gen 4 territory with the remakes and Legends Arceus and things, so I think the next set that they do announce will probably contain a Glaceon. But yeah, that is all the Pops that has been released so far, and hopefully as they go along, there'll probably be a few more that aren't Gen 1, because it is very Gen 1 focused. There are a lot of Pikachus, but I think as they've gone on, the quality and the expressionism of them has got a lot better. So yeah, if you like any of them, definitely pick them up as they come out. Again, as I said at the start, they aren't so easy to get in the UK. There's a few places you can get them, but it is a bit sporadic, and some places have them and some places don't. And you probably can't easily get the whole set from one place, unless you're very, very patient and wait for Funko Europe to bring them out. I buy mine from an American importer called Double Box Toys. Not sponsored or anything, that's just where I buy them from. And especially in the case of the standard Pops, they are pretty reliable. They don't always do sort of the limited edition ones or the diamond ones and that sort of thing, especially as they usually come from like Comic-Con and stuff like that. But in terms of if you're just collecting the standard Pops, they are a good source to get them from, and they're not too overpriced. Obviously you have to pay a bit of a premium if you're getting them imported, but otherwise you just have to be really, really patient, because eventually they do come out in this country. Things like Smith's Toy Stores get a few every once in a while, so sometimes you just have to be a bit patient if you're going to stick to buying them in the UK shops. But that is kind of it. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Funko Pops that are available so far. And if you had any that were your favourites, or if there's any that you have yourself, please let us know in the comments below. And also trying to get to 100 subscribers before Scarlet and Violet come out. So if you would like more content like this, or more TCG content, shiny content like the rest of my channel, please think about subscribing and liking this video, and to help me get to that goal. That would be lovely. Thank you very much and have a lovely day. Bye.